So we just had the release of Act 3 and the new exotic mission that drops the Choir of One exotic auto rifle. It's a void auto rifle that uses special ammo, and let me tell you, if you guys have not obtained this bad boy yet, then you need to get it. The special ammo is literally a non-issue with this weapon when you're aiming down sights. It has even better ammo economy than rocket sidearms, in my personal opinion. It has 2 different firing modes, and they both hit like an absolute truck in endgame content, but we're mainly going to be taking advantage of the aim down sight mode on it, because if you add the right mods to the build, you'll have infinite special ammo, and it hits so hard when you aim down sights. It will shred through all types of enemies, and it will probably be a top 3 weapon in endgame content now, as far as Grandmasters and activities like that go. That's how good the Choir of One exotic is. So of course we're going to make the best build possible on all 3 classes, while taking advantage of this new exotic weapon, and the first one we're going to tackle is the Titan. I have partnered with Geology to bring you this sponsored video. As gamers, we might not take the best care of our skincare health, and that can become a problem later on. Well, Geology fixes that issue for us, and helps us maintain a simple and effective skincare and hair care routine that is customized just for you. And Geology is a 35-time award-winning company, so they know what they're doing. The first step is to identify the problem. For example, I struggle with darkness under my eyes. You know those dark patches that make you look like a vampire sometimes under your eyes? Well, that's where Geology takes over. Geology creates a simple and effective skincare routine personalized to you. It starts with a 60-second quiz. You tell them about your skin goals and the issues you're having. Then they will develop a derm-grade personalized routine and deliver it straight to your door. Their routines are easy to stick to and not complicated at all, which just makes the commitment very easy on you. So make sure you guys don't miss out on this great deal, and use my link and code down in the description or in the pinned comment and grab 70% off your personalized skincare trial set. Remember, you also get 50% off on any add-ons waiting for you as well. I hope you guys take advantage of this deal, and I know your skin will feel great with Geology, just like mine has. Now, since this entire build is built around the Choir of One exotic auto rifle that we've basically already went over, this build is more of a weapon-centric build, and I normally do ability-based builds, right? But I want to maximize this weapon to the fullest. So everything we're doing within the kit on the Titan is for survivability, crowd control, and just mowing through champions with that weapon. So for your super, we are going to take the new Void Super Twilight Arsenal. It got a nice buff a couple weeks ago, and it hits really hard on its own now. They gave it like a 25% damage buff, I believe. And then we're going to take the Rally Barricade because it has a much shorter cooldown, and that's going to play into our overall build and what we're doing with it. And then for your melee, we'll take Thunderclap. It's still a strong melee, can handle any red bars that come up against you close, and will give us the amplified buff when we kill 3 or more enemies with it. For the grenade, we take Glacier Grenade. Now you could change this one out here, but we do need extra dark energy coming to us. Since our exotic auto rifle is void, that's going to fill our light bar for us very quickly on Prismatic, so we need darkness abilities to help that dark side. So Glacier Grenade is a great pick here, and we're buffing it with a fragment. For the 2 aspects we're going to take is Diamond Lance. So every time we defeat an enemy with an ability or one that's debuffed from an ability, we'll create a Diamond Lance, pick that up and throw it into groups of enemies, freeze them, and that adds to your darkness meter. And it also adds crowd control overall to your fire team when you're tackling difficult activities. For the second aspect, we'll take Dringer's Lash. This is where we cast that barricade. It sends forth that strand projectile that will suspend targets in its path. Again, another darkness ability. When you kill these enemies, it gives you darkness meter and helps that prismatic bar fill very quickly, so we can become Transcendence as soon as possible. We are going to take Facet of Bravery. Our melee Thunderclap is really strong and can guarantee kills, and same with our Glacier Grenade. So we'll be proccing volatile rounds to our void weapons, which just makes Choir of One hit that much better and add a little crowd control effect, right? And then we also get the Unraveling rounds to our strand weapons, and I do suggest taking a strand primary and a strand heavy. Again, this helps build your darkness meters from those 2 weapons. For our second fragment, we take Facet of Ruin. This will increase the stasis shatter damage from frozen targets or the crystal, and that plays into our Glacier Grenade and our Diamond Lance. Both of those will take advantage of this. Then we take Facet of Solitude. So when we're hitting a champion with that Choir of One and railing on them, we will sever them and cut their outgoing damage by 40%, which just helps our survivability. Then we take Facet of Protection. When we're surrounded, we get that damage reduction from enemies. We'll take Facet of Hope. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. We'll always have an elemental buff up all the time, whether that's Restoration, Amplified, Void Overshields, or Radiant. We get all of that from this build. And then for the last fragment, we take Facet of Purpose. Picking up an Orb of Power will grant us an Overshield because we have a Void Super for our subclass. So we can get a Void Overshield by picking up an Orb of Power. We can become Amplified by defeating enemies with Thunderclap. We can also become Radiant from the artifact by picking up an Orb of Power with the Radiant Orbs mod. And then we also get the Restoration buff from our exotic. Now you have two choices here for the exotic. If you don't have an exotic class item with this, then you take Precious Scars. Final blows with weapons that match your super will grant you restoration and allies restoration. This restoration lasts for 3 seconds. As soon as it's gone, kill another enemy and you proc it instantly again. Now what's important about this in harder content is it does require kills. But now we have such a strong weapon when we're aiming down sights for any red bar or even yellow bars like knights that you will kill them so quickly with this and grant you restoration and your allies restoration. So you're bringing restoration to the entire fire team. But if you do have an exotic class item, then you would want the Spirit of Scars on there, which does the exact same thing, right? But for your second slot, I have one that dropped with Spirit of the Abeyant. This just makes Dranger's Lash projectiles track more aggressively and travel further and creates 3 lashes instead of 1. So now our barricade, when we cast it, it makes the 3 projectiles and suspends everything in the air. Now you've made everything easy to kill and crowd controlled them. You use Choir of One and kill them. You then grant you restoration and your allies restoration. You create a diamond lance from killing anything that was suspended. You grab that lance, throw it into your next group of enemies, and then just continue the chain because it's easy to kill those frozen targets. Add in your grenade when needed, and your barricade will be back up within 15 seconds to just start the cycle over. And Choir of One, when you aim down sights, does enough damage, even in endgame content, to easily kill things to proc that restoration. Me and Grim 2-manned the Grandmaster Nightfall this week, and it was pretty easy with this build. And then I went and even soloed the Devil's Lair Grandmaster with it as well, because I wanted to try Overload Auto Rifle on the new Choir of One. Now for your mods on the build, it's very simple. On the helmet, take Harmonic Siphon to spawn Orbs of Power with Choir of One, and then everything else we're doing with the build is built into Choir of One and making sure we have ammo. So in the helmet, I take 2 special ammo finders to get more special ammo when we pick up a brick. On my gauntlets, I take a Void Loader to reload that Choir of One quicker. And then I also take a Heavy-Handed and Firepower, so my abilities will create Orbs of Power. On the chest piece, I take 2 Void Reserves. This bumps up the total ammo to around 350 in Choir of One. And when you're aiming down sights, it is very hard for you to run out of that ammo. And then on the boots, I'll take a Void Scavenger. So Void weapons get bonus reserves when picking up ammo used by that weapon. And then on the class item, I will take a Special Finisher. Finishers generate special ammo for the whole fire team as long as you have 3 armor charges. Well, since your grenade in melee is making Orbs of Power and your double kills on Choir of One are making Orbs of Power, and the only way we are spending those Orbs of Power are on a finisher, it is very easy for us to always have ammo with this build. You want to run 100 Resilience, that's your damage reduction and plays into your barricade and getting it back as quick as possible. Then 100 Discipline, and I actually got up to 90 Strength with the build. So those are the 3 stats I would aim for. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.